Florida rapper Foolio. Have y'all ever heard of Foolio? I'm not as familiar with his music, but apparently he's a popular rapper, and they wanted me to tell y'all that Foolio was killed over in Tampa over the weekend. Check it out.
A crime scene taking up this whole parking lot behind me. This is a Holiday Inn right across the street from USF. Here, 4 people were shot, and so were 2 cars. Police say they are also now a part of the investigation. A birthday celebration that took a turn for the worst. Now cars filled with bullet holes are at the center of an investigation to find out why famous rapper Julio Foolio, who just turned 26, was shot dead early this morning.
At this point, it's part of the investigation, but it seems that they might have been coming here to the hotel to get a room.
After a social media post from Julio Foolio said he and his friends were kicked out of an Airbnb. They found themselves at this Holiday Inn where hotel guests like Jeremiah Claypool had to be escorted to and from their rooms post gunshots.
I only heard one. It woke me up, but apparently there were more than that.
Police say they got the call at 4:40 this morning. Julio Foolio, whose real name is Charles Jones, was confirmed dead at the scene while 3 other shooting victims were taken to the hospital. No one has been arrested in connection to this shooting.
You know, we always say it, but in cases like this, it really does make the difference. If you saw something, if you heard something, any little detail can help us figure out what happened here this morning.
For now, investigators will lean on federal agencies and work with hotel surveillance video to help determine how the shooting events took place. Also, interviews from witnesses like Claypool.
We're still going to stay. We're going to find another hotel.
As we continue to find out more information, be sure to download our free WFLA app.
So, sounds like it's just pure ignorance. Doesn't seem like that it was anything that he was doing as far as like moving drugs or getting into a situation. But what he did do, and his biggest mistake, was operating out of ignorance. So what I mean by operating out of ignorance is thinking that because you're only 26, because you're famous, because you're real in the streets. And this is why I be telling people, they be like, man, you can't move around without security. I don't want to, because it only take one fool to get upset because he couldn't get into the party. I'm not about to get caught up with y'all. And this is what age and wisdom wind up putting you in a position to make better decisions on a daily basis. Because when they telling you you're not keeping it real, I'm keeping it real alive, real rich. I'm keeping it real for my family. And so he had his whole life ahead of him. It's unfortunate. And we don't like to see that happen to anybody. So rest in peace to him. I hope his family finds some sort of, not revenge, but I hope they catch whoever did it, all right? In addition to that, did y'all know about this controversial judge that basically was arrested for assault and battery, got her wig snatched off and stuff at a nightclub for assaulting an officer? Check it out.
First time tonight, we're hearing from the Metro Atlanta judge arrested at a DeKalb or Buckhead nightclub. I'm Alan Devlin.
And I'm Savannah Louie. The Douglas County
place,
Probate Court judge is out of jail, and now she's ready to tell her side of the story. Atlanta News First anchor Tori Cooper is live in Douglas.
They said, do your homework, Anton. He had real beef. No, I'm not doing my homework on him. I'm not interested in learning about Julio Foolio. Listen, you do your homework. I'm just reporting the news. I'm wishing that his family finds some kind of, is not grieving too hard, regardless of the decisions that he made. Now, obviously, he had real beef in these streets, and I know that he had real beef in these streets, but this is the Millionaire Morning Show, and I'm trying to be nice because I don't like to talk negatively about people that are passed away. And so regardless of what you wind up doing, that's for the police to sort out. That's for them to sort out. But I'm not necessarily about to be sitting here talking negatively. Oh, man, he had real beef. Listen. Once a person has passed away, I have a rule, okay? I have a rule within myself. I'm not even going to say within my family or anything. I have a rule within myself. Once somebody has passed away, I don't talk negatively about the dead because they are not here to defend themselves. I don't know all of the facts. I don't know why somebody got killed. He may have had beef in the streets, but that may not necessarily be why he got killed. It may have been a disgruntled person or whatever. He may have been very wild in the streets. But I try to, in a general sense, stay away from the negativity when it comes to somebody passing because I don't And who knows, maybe I make a mistake in the future or something like that. But I am not interested in talking negatively. I just want the streets to be cleaned up. I don't want violence to go on. I don't think anybody's life should be taken unless they took somebody else's life, or you're doing it you're doing it in order to protect yourself. And so I'm not an advocate for hood politics. I'm not interested in hood politics. I don't even want to hang out in the hood. I'm just letting y'all know what's happening over in Tampa. Okay, let's continue.
Douglas County outside the judge's courthouse. Tori, you were the only reporter who spoke with her tonight.
I spoke with Judge Christina Peterson tonight at her home, and she told me that she's still healing from what happened between her and police last night. But before this, Judge Peterson was involved in a different investigation that got her in trouble with a state panel. Last night.
This are y'all electing over there in Georgia? ATL shouted, Buckhead. This is how y'all rocking out? How do these people even become judges in the first place? Is this another diversity, equity, and inclusion pick? Is this being elected based off of identity politics?
Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson was arrested outside the Red Martini Lounge in Buckhead. Atlanta police have not publicly released their report into what happened, but jail records show Peterson is now charged with simple battery against a police officer and felony willful obstruction of law enforcement by threats and violence. Some of Judge Peterson's neighbors who did not want to go on camera say this news caught them off guard.
Well, I figured she had to have a reason for something happening.
But other neighbors tell a different story about Judge Peterson's conduct. One of them told me off camera Peterson sued her when she was the president of the Homeowners Association, and she's still going through that litigation now. Court documents show Judge Peterson was investigated for taking action against the HOA.
The head of HOA, she wouldn't release her position, and the only way to get her down was to get signatures.
A $70,000 settlement was eventually reached, but neighbors named as plaintiffs in the suit alongside Judge Peterson allegedly never received their share of the settlement money, but Judge Peterson did. Judge Peterson was also investigated and accused of violating courtroom security protocol and disrupting courtroom operations, among other things. But some of her neighbors still have her back.
She's pretty fair with everything.
You know, black people gonna stick together. The sister code, the black on black, blackity black. You know they're gonna stick together. That's how Fani Willis continue to stay in office.
Now, Judge Peterson plans on holding a press conference tomorrow at 2 p.m. alongside her attorney, but Judge Peterson has limited time left on the bench anyway because she lost her re-election bid in the May primaries. Reporting live in Douglasville.
Well, so much for that bag. So that's what happened to Judge Peterson over there. And then last but not least, shout out to the people. Let me give a round of applause to the third ward residences over in Houston. Apparently, it was the residents who uncovered an $8 million corruption exposed down there in H-Town down. We're going to do the meetup in H-Town next month. Check it out.
Citizens of 3rd Ward are credited with coming forward to help uncover public corruption, totaling more than $8 million.
And it impacted their own neighborhoods. Here's Fox 26's Greg Grugan.
Redevelopment authorities across Houston fall under tax increment redevelopment zones, each tasked with using tax dollars to improve the lives of local residents. But in this case, District Attorney Kim Ogg says the TERS board was just a rubber stamp for the Midtown Redevelopment Authority, making the scheme easy to pull off.
Arrested today are Todd Edwards, the real estate asset manager, Veronica Ugorji, a contractor for the Midtown Redevelopment Authority, and Kenneth Jones, a second contractor for the same authority.
Ogg says instead of spending money on mowing and demolition, those jobs went undone, while each lined their personal pockets, and now each faces first-degree felony charges.
One thing that I don't understand about people that's crooked, right? Let's say, for example, you finesse, because, you know, we live in finesse culture and everybody think that they just entitled to taxpayer dollars and to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it and all of that, right? One thing I don't understand about finesse culture is how come they don't just do the job? Like, they don't just steal or they don't just award themselves contracts They just don't do the job. They don't do nothing. They just, oh yeah, we got this contract in order, this huge multi-million-dollar contract in order to mow the grass or, take care of this building. Instead of actually doing the job, so the only thing that they can come at you with is whether or not they got to investigate whether or not you got the contract improperly or not, which that probably wouldn't even be a circumstance if you would have actually did the job. They just don't even appear. They just go get the money. They go to Tulum, start throwing money, go to the strip club, buy a bunch of cars, go get a G-Wagon, go get an Escalade, and then they just gonna have why don't they just do the job? That's the part that I don't understand.
Unfortunately, our tax dollars meant to improve the lives of Houstonians were spent on flashy cars, nice houses.
Every time.
Super living.
Every time.
Trips.
And if you're going to steal, if you're going to thug it out, don't be flashy. Y'all should have learned it from Frank Lucas, American Gangster. It's the flashiest one in the room when you doing all of this negative crime is the weakest one in the room. The one with the big cars. Y'all want to know why a lot of these rich people wind up, they say that wealth is silent. You want to know why wealth is silent? It's because most of the time it's gotten with ill-gotten gains. That's why wealth is silent, because the people that actually got the money, they not trying to bring no attention to themselves, not because they not flashy, but because they also don't want to be arrested. That's the caveat. When you see people, real wealth is silent. No, people that are doing some of the most egregious crimes against humanity is trying to make sure that they say Vladimir Putin is the richest man on earth. They said that Elon Musk don't even come close to Vladimir Putin. They say Putin is so rich that he like a Saudi. He like a oil baron out there. That's how much wealth he got. They say this dude's he might be one of the first trillionaires out here in these streets. Do you know why he's not saying it? It's important for him to continue to maintain a certain image so that he can exert power. You know why Congress people and senators and all of these people that are literally millionaires, they're public servants that somehow became millionaires. You know why they're so quiet? Because they're not trying to draw attention to what they're doing behind the scenes. It's not that wealth is silent, it's that the people that's not trying to get caught is quiet. The only place that I see that happen is the culture. That's it. Now, people that got it out the mud, the people that don't care, the people that paid their taxes, they're not tripping. They're going to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. It's them or it's the people that actually got it legally and ain't worried about nobody. They ain't worried about no audits. They ain't worried about none of that. They books is right and all of that. They going to floss, and the people that do it ignorantly, that did it illegally, but they the weakest in the room, they going to floss. But the people that ain't really doing what they supposed to do, and they got a bunch of money, but they not trying to draw attention. Who are you? They want to know what the heck you doing. That's the difference. Stealth wealth often at times comes from people that's not trying to draw attention to themselves for whatever reason.
And pornography.
Friday's charges come after years of probing by the people living in Third Ward, who say they begged the authority to clean up overgrown lots that had become magnets for crime.
When years went by with no progress, we, the residents of Third Ward, organized, investigated, and uncovered undeniable evidence that there was corruption diverting the tax funds to private accounts.
Mayor Whitmire now encouraging more people to come forward.
The Inspector General's office at the city is a much more user-friendly and open to whistleblowing or outright
That's the mayor of Houston. He said we're going to clean this city up.
Declarations of conflicts of interest, and in this instance, allegations of criminal activity.
The message today should be loud and clear to those who would neglect our neighborhood on purpose to benefit themselves. We are paying attention, and we will hold you accountable for your actions.
They not messing around down there. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Quick Hits.